So, as many of you know, during the semester you have office hour time set up when students can swing by and ask you questions, get clarification. But there may come a time during the semester when you need students to actually come to your office to discuss something with you, and you have built this into your course. So, let's say you've got a major project coming up and you want them to actually meet with you as part of the process of that project. How can Canvas actually help with this? Because trying to play email tag with your whole class can be a nightmare. So, in your calendar view, you can actually create schedules where students can sign up to come and see you. To do that, you'll simply come here and click on the Scheduler button, which will bring you to this page. You'll be given this text box with a brief series of instructions, and to get started, you just come over here and click on Create an Appointment Group. So I'm going to call this Lab Report 1 Feedback. Maybe I want my students to come for feedback so I can talk to them and we can discuss what it was they needed to do or what they did well on their lab reports and areas of improvement, so when they go to do lab report 2, they have now learned in a constructive manner from this feedback. I'm just going to write my office. Obviously, you'd put your actual office here. And then you can choose which calendars you can add this to. So I'm going to select the Sandbox course. Done. Okay. Now, let's talk dates. You can set this date by date. So let's say the first day I'm going to be assigning it. It's due on the 15th. I'll hand it back, let's say, the next week. So I'll say the 22nd is the first date they can attend. And I'm going to do 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then let's go here. And let's say that the next day I want them to be able to come to me is the 25th. We'll do this also from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then let's do a final day of the 26th from 8 to 12. And let's say I wanted to do the 26th again. So I'll say the 26th again. This one will be instead from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. So that gives me an hour-long lunch break, and I'm going to make these 15 minutes each. Okay. Click go. And this will actually break up those into the appropriate time slots so that you can see what they all look like. So there are all the time slots I can now build in that will allow students ultimately to sign up for those different time slots. So the way this works, you set your hours initially that you want your students to be able to attend, and then you use this to divide these up on those specific dates into the appropriate lengths of time. Okay. I can limit each time slot to a certain number of users, so I'm going to say only one person can come and visit me during those time slots. I'm not going to allow them to see who has signed up for which time slot, and I'm only going to allow them to sign up for one time slot. If there are additional appointments or details for these appointments I want to add, I can do that, and then I can just publish. And once I do that, it's going to set up all of these. It now has this listed. I can actually edit this, I can delete it, I can also message students who haven't signed up or who have already signed up, or all users. So this again enhances communication and allows you to talk with your students. Okay, so that is the scheduler. You can always come back here, click on this if you need to, and you can go in and edit it if you need to. My computer is a little slow, so you'll have to excuse me. Okay, so here is the breakdown of that schedule. Okay, and it also, in addition to that, shows you any assignments you have due on those days when you have this schedule set. So I have all these slots available, and when students start signing up, it will tell me which students have signed up for which of these sections. So that's how you can use Scheduler. Once I'm done with that, I can just go back to the list, head back to my month, and I'm good to go. You'll have to pardon these things. This is just an aberration of the browser I'm currently using because it's not technically fully Canvas compliant. So just so you're aware, Safari is not one of the browsers that is fully Canvas compliant, but I think for the most part you can actually see how Scheduler works. If I were to refresh this page, that should make those go away. And then I can go back to Scheduler and you can see it in the cleaner view. Here we go. Clicking on this ultimately will bring up the whole list of available appointments as we saw before, and there they are. Okay, so that's how you use Scheduler in Canvas.